All right, so one of the ways that Facebook dating perpetuates human trafficking is by limiting how many people you're allowed to talk to each day. And the reason why they do that is because they go through so much trouble deciding who you're really allowed to talk to, making sure that all the conversations are monitored, making sure that there are, potentially multiple people around to react to if you decide if you decide to go somewhere or do something. So this was a tablet that was given to me by a chick who was actually poisoning me and her grandkids in Arizona. And this tablet no longer has the ability to hook up to Wi-Fi. And the reason why the ability to hook up to Wi-Fi has been completely disabled on this tablet is because this was the tablet that I had one of my last accounts on. And wait. Okay, and this is one of my last accounts. Well, you're not going to be able to see it, but that was it. And I kept this tablet, and one thing that I would do is when Facebook dating would all of a sudden tell me that it was cutting me off from speaking to people and that I was no longer allowed to look through any of the pictures or, you know what I mean, or choose anybody, that I'd reached my limit. Even if none of, you know what I mean? And then no one would talk to me, and then there would be stagnance. And I would really need, sometimes I would really, really need help from someone, whoever. And I didn't know of any other way to get a hold of locals very quickly other than this fucking stupid Facebook dating shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know all the apps. I don't know everybody. And so when I was stuck in a hotel with my kid and I was being hunted by pedophiles and murderers, and I knew that they were trying to weaponize Child Protective Services against me, and that they had already been doing that, and that if I were to sit outside of a hotel with my little kid and not have a ride and not be gone within at least an hour or two, that I could be stuck talking to CPS. And that was kind of the goal, was to have my kid taken away by CPS. So it was like a race and a game for everybody else to chase me across the country and to try to catch me up somehow, or to try to orchestrate something to make it seem like I was getting caught up somehow or whatever. They had to act like that I was just a dumb, junkie, crackhead mom on the streets just doing whatever, just out there with my kid, all irresponsible and stuff, is what they made it look like. And not one person would listen to me, that I was set up to be a witness to homicides, and that my kid and I were being chased across the nation. Like, the sheriff was all pretending that she didn't understand and that it was crazy, that I was just talking crazy and all this. So this is April of last year, and this is me. I'm pretty sure that this is me in Turlock. Let's see. I guess it's not gonna say. Oh, God. Okay. So this is me, and I'm pretty sure that I am in a camper at this time in Turlock. And I'm in Turlock, California, and I'm in the middle of an almond grove. and I'm stuck in a situation where the guy who is keeping me there is poisoning me with the cyanide that is being extracted from the almonds that I was surrounded by in the grove. And he was actually, they were actually taking bottled water, and um, without breaking the seal, they were taking the whole lid off, putting the poison into the water, and then putting the lid back on and making it seem like they were fresh, clean bottles of water. And a symptom of cyanide poisoning is that you're not going to want to go to sleep. You're going to get real aggro, real irritable. You'll almost feel like you're irritable on meth, coming down off meth almost, and you won't be able to go to sleep. You'll stay up all night until morning trying to go to sleep. It's absolutely horrible. But this is me. I spent 2 weeks with an eye patch on while I was there, and you can tell that I don't feel very well and that I'm not doing okay. I'm not doing very well. This was right after they did this thing with Neuralink where they gave me colonic seizures in my shoulder. There was a YouTuber, Kuan Yin, and she asked me, she was like, you guys we can pray that, we can pray against Neuralink and all this stuff. Yeah, see. She's like, we can pray against Neuralink, and here I am like, oh my God, I know that they're gonna just do something terrible to me, you know what I mean? But I was like, all right, fuck it, let's pray against Neuralink, because we really should anyways. Fuck it, let's let Neuralink fucking hear us pray against them or whatever. And so I prayed against Neuralink, and then I began to have seizures all in the back of my head, down the back of my neck, and the seizure spread over into my shoulders. And I thought for a second, like, oh my God, this feels like, I knew automatically that it was Neuralink, or whatever, some fucking government shit or whatever. But my whole, it's called your trapezium or whatever. Would it have been on that side, or would it have been the other side? So what happened was the muscles, this muscle that comes out of your shoulder there, out the back of your neck and stuff, it locked up. It went and it seized so badly and that it locked up. And I'm not sure whether or not I was being hit with energy weapons at the same time at night as this was happening, or if I had been hit with energy weapons the night before, because I was in a place where things were weird and I was unconscious sometimes, which would have been at the place I was, one of the places I was before I ended up at this place. And this is me just explaining to you guys some of the human hunting games stuff. Now, to meet this guy who was out in Turlock, dang, I can't remember whether I think that I met him. I think that I met him through Facebook dating too. It made my trapezium clench up so badly, and it made the muscles in the back of my neck and everything. It was so bad, and it just kept jerking and just kept seizing and stuff like that. And it was so bad that I had to go to the hospital, and the doctor took one look at it and she was like, oh my God. She was like, what? She was like, what is wrong with this? How did you do this and stuff? And she was just like, you're going to need I'm going to prescribe you some muscle relaxers. She was like, that's your trapezium. And she gave me some lidocaine patches, and she gave me some muscle relaxers. And while I was in this camper was when I really needed to be recovering and using those muscle relaxers and using those lidocaine patches and stuff. And I was being poisoned so badly with cyanide in this camper that there was no way for me to rest, but I did my best to anyways. And also in the campers, they get the trafficked girls, especially the ones who are in the DNA harvesting, the DNA research, DNA slavery research or whatever, they will put them in these low-end campers with these just trashy dudes. And the dudes, and they'll mostly, they'll mostly put us in those campers right when we're going to start our moon time. And when we start our moon time, that's when all of that gets collected down in the it gets collected in the little potty thing underneath. They collect all of our if you're ever going through this as a chick and you're on your period and you're in a camper or in an RV where all that blood and everything can be caught, notice that the guy, unless he goes outside and change things around first, he's not generally going to use that toilet at all. He's going to let you use that toilet the entire time. He's not going to go in there and take shits or pisses or anything. So I figured out that they were doing that because after I would end my period and stuff, I would hear them taking the thing and switching it off, and assumed that that would be like actually taken somewhere, which would be literally like vats of basically all the blood that came out of you for your entire week was being collected in these in those nasty camper vats or whatever. Just going through my pictures a little bit, even though I look terrible in these pictures. But I mean, for what I was going through, it was like me just taking pictures, just seeing how I looked. You know what I mean? Just looking back at the pictures, like, what do I even look like? You know what I mean? Like, am I going to be able to adjust to wearing this huge, stupid eye patch? And, you know, here I'm in a situation where I'm not really getting enough sleep. The guy's going out and buying me a bunch of weed and stuff all the time. And he's gone all the time, so that's nice. But he's got me under surveillance there in the camper, and there's surveillance inside and outside. And then at the house on the other side of the almond grove from me is where all my haters and my ops who follow me around all the time are chilling with that family. And then there's also some trafficking victims over there. And at one point, I actually smell one of the. I can actually smell one of my stalker bitches, and she smells like a whole bunch of different, really nasty, like. She smells like a whole year's worth of, if you were to just put different lotion on every day for like a year and never wash yourself and use a bunch of shea butter on top of that, that's whatever, like, one of the like little stalker witches who follow me around, that's what she smells like. It's fucking disgusting. This right here is a van. This was one of the trafficker dudes who was taking pictures of me while I was in Arizona. He was one of the people who was just blatantly rolling up, filming me, which I've mentioned before. How people just, I guess, get paid to have pictures, images, videos, anything that they can get of me. They can get some kind of money or social special credit for or whatever. But this was a creep who was filming me. I mean, I was putting up my tent and everything, and he would just park his van there and just film me the whole time. He was so disgusting. This tablet, I was using this tablet and the Facebook account that's on it, and I think that this was the only way that I had to get onto that Sky Cross account. And every account that I make, the bad guys hijack. They hijack it so that they can continue to pretend that those are their accounts and that's their identity, or they hijack it so that they'll be able to delete it really easily. And then they also use it to, I guess, talk to whoever opposes me and do whatever. It's disgusting. But they've done so much. They've actually done so much with it. Sorry. I can't even remember what I was going to say. That sucks. They've... Anyways. So, the nasty Arizona chick, she gave me this tablet, and it was apparently just so that I could be tracked, because the tablet hardly even does anything. And so whoever has been able to track me with this tablet, and I had a Facebook account on here, but somebody's messed with this tablet and made it to where it doesn't have the ability to connect to Wi-Fi anymore. So now I've completely lost control of this Facebook, and the bad guys have it. So, as I was saying, Facebook dating, whether you're trying to date or not, that's the fastest way just to meet people. And it would be smarter for them to just call it Facebook Friends, or to have a section that's called Facebook Friends, because when you say that you're using Facebook dating to meet people, it sounds like you're trying to date. But not everybody who's using Facebook dating is trying to date. It's just that is an extra way and a fast way to meet people, or it is for the majority of people. If you put your face on, if you take dorky pictures of yourself and you just write, I have a dog, duh, like most dudes do, it's not a surprise that you don't hear back from anybody. But they will shut me down on my Facebook because they don't actually want me to be able to use the internet to my advantage. They want for the internet to be used to my disadvantage. So when they would try to disadvantage me by restricting me on my one Facebook dating account, I would come over here and I would get on this dating, and I would say, hey, I'm in this town now. And then everybody would be freaked out, and they would have to rush over to this account to have to hurry up and control this account, and to try to do all the same shit that they were doing on my other account. And you know what I mean? They'd have to hurry up and be back and forth. And as long as I had this account going and my other account, I wasn't as restricted, and I was able to do twice as much. And when the shit began to try to restrict me, I could just bypass it and go to the next device and start to work from there. And I could have done that with 100 different devices. And I don't understand why that would be a problem when the bad guys use 100 different accounts on 100 different devices to sex traffic us and to destroy our lives. Shouldn't we be able to also use this technology to try to, save ourselves? But they make sure that the technology